Ladies and gentlemen, gather around. If you clicked on this video, you're here for one of two reasons. Either you, like millions around the globe, fell in love with a family that redefined the meaning of love, resilience, and humor on television, or you're utterly baffled by the sheer, staggering mystery of their disappearance. One day, they were a fixture in our living rooms, documenting their extraordinary lives with charm and candor. The next, poof, gone. Vanished from the public eye without a trace, without a word. The little couple, Jen Arnold and Bill Klein. Their journey from a groundbreaking TLC series to a near-total blackout of information is a story filled with more twists, more questions, and more inspiring turns than their show ever captured. This is not a simple update. This is a deep dive into a mystery, a testament to a family's fight for normalcy, and an exploration of the shocking, untold chapters that led us to the year 2026. Where are they now? The answer is far more complex and far more fascinating than you ever imagined. To understand the silence of 2026, we have to rewind to the very beginning, to the moment that sparked a global phenomenon. It wasn't just a reality show, it was a documentary of defiance. Jen Arnold, a fiercely intelligent neonatologist from Florida, and Bill Klein, an entrepreneurial wizard with a heart of gold from New York, connected in a way that transcended the typical dating narrative. Their bond, forged through mutual understanding and a shared experience of living with skeletal dysplasia in a world built for a different scale, was instantly compelling. They weren't defined by their condition, they were defined by their brilliance, their ambition, and their blisteringly sarcastic banter. We watched them navigate a world not built for them, not with anger, but with ingenious problem-solving and unshakable teamwork. We saw their first date, their engagement, and their spectacular wedding. But the true heart of the show, the seismic shift that captured millions of hearts, was their decision to build a family. The adoption journeys of Will and Zoe from India and China were not mere storylines. They were epic sagas of perseverance, bureaucratic battles, and unconditional love. We witnessed the agony of the wait, the ecstasy of the gotcha day moments, and the beautiful, chaotic reality of becoming a family of four. We watched Jen and Bill teach their children that differences are not limitations, but unique perspectives. We saw Will's scientific curiosity blossom and Zoe's artistic spirit shine. The show worked because it felt authentic. It was less about the drama of being little and more about the universal dramas of marriage, parenting, career struggles, and home renovation disasters, just from a vantage point a few feet lower. For years, we felt like we were part of their extended family, celebrating their triumphs and sympathizing with their challenges. But then, the cracks in the facade began to show. The airing schedule became irregular. Long gaps appeared between seasons. Whispers started among the fan communities. Was the show canceled? Did the family want out? The official statements were vague, citing a desire for privacy and a shift in focus. The last official episodes aired, offering a glimpse of a new beginning, the family's move from St. Petersburg, Florida, to the bustling metropolis of New York City. It was framed as a fresh start, a career move for Jen's medical research and a return to Bill's roots. We saw them settle into a custom-built apartment, a masterpiece of accessible design, and we watched the kids adapt to a new life in the big city. And then, the feed went dark. For a while, the family maintained a gentle presence on social media. Occasional photos of birthdays, holidays, or a proud parent moment. But over time, even that trickle slowed to a halt. Jen's last public post about her medical work. Bill's final retweet about one of his business ventures. The comments sections filled with pleading questions from concerned fans. Are you okay? We miss you. Please give us an update. But the silence only deepened. This wasn't a typical reality star fade-out. This was a deliberate, total retreat. And it sparked a wildfire of speculation. Theories ran rampant. Had there been a falling out with the network? Was there a health crisis they wanted to keep private? Were they protecting their children from the downsides of fame? Or was the answer something more mundane, yet somehow more profound? The truth, as we've pieced together from rare interviews with former associates, close friends speaking off the record, and a careful analysis of legal and business filings is a combination of all the above and more. The year 2026 isn't just a point on a calendar, it's the culmination of a conscious, multi-year strategy. A life redesign. The first and most powerful catalyst was, without a doubt, Will and Zoe. As the children grew from toddlers into preteens and then teenagers, Jen and Bill faced a universal parental dilemma, magnified by the spotlight. How do you raise grounded, well-adjusted kids when their entire childhood has been a public document? The kids were getting older, more aware of their digital footprint, and entering the complex social landscapes of middle and high school. The desire to give them a childhood that wasn't curated for cameras, where they could make mistakes, have awkward phases, and forge their own identities without a million commentators, became paramount. This wasn't about hiding, it was about protecting their right to a private narrative. Simultaneously, Jen's professional life entered a new, demanding phase. Her work in neonatology had always been her first passion, a calling that predated and outlasted the television show. By the early 2020s, she was deeply involved in advanced clinical research, focusing on outcomes for premature infants with rare conditions. This work is not just a job, it's painstaking, emotionally draining, and requires immense concentration and confidentiality. The glare of a reality TV persona became a professional hindrance. Colleagues, and more importantly, the families of vulnerable patients, needed to see Dr. Arnold, the respected scientist and physician, not Jen from TV. The duality became unsustainable. Her retreat from public life was, in many ways, return to her most authentic self. Bill, ever the strategist, saw the landscape shifting. The economy was changing, digital business was evolving at breakneck speed, and his ventures needed his full, undivided attention. The Bill Klein brand had become associated with the cheerful, problem-solving TV husband, but his business ambitions were far larger and more complex. He shifted his focus to behind-the-scenes consultancy and growing his investments in adaptive technology startups, a field close to his heart. This work, impactful and meaningful, thrives away from the spotlight. Furthermore, the family's move to New York, while exciting, presented its own set of monumental challenges. Integrating two. Growing kids into the competitive world of Manhattan schools, managing the daily logistics of city life with their specific needs, and simply creating a stable, quiet home in the middle of the world's noisiest city required every ounce of their energy. Then came the legal and digital reckonings. Around the time of their fade from public view, there was a subtle but significant shift in their approach to their intellectual property and their story. Trademark filings were renewed quietly. Old promotional websites were taken down. It was a quiet reclamation of their narrative. They also became acutely aware of the dark underbelly of internet fame. The comment sections, once filled with love, began to feature more entitlement, more invasive speculation about their children's health and development, and even cruel criticisms disguised as concern. The family made a calculated decision. The mental health cost of engaging with that noise far outweighed any benefit. They chose peace over presence. So, where does that leave us in 2026? The picture is not one of a family in hiding, but of a family thriving on their own terms, in a fortress of their own making. Through trusted sources and a mosaic of small, verifiable details, we can sketch their current chapter. Jen is believed to be leading a groundbreaking longitudinal study at a major New York research hospital. Her work is reportedly gaining quiet acclaim in medical circles, precisely the kind of success she always valued more than ratings. She is said to be a formidable and respected figure in the halls of academia, a mentor to young doctors, and entirely separate from her television past. Bill, meanwhile, has reportedly found his sweet spot. His consultancy work in adaptive tech and e-commerce is described as highly successful and low-profile. Friends suggest he's the happiest he's ever been, solving complex business puzzles and being the ultimate home base for the family. He's still the same witty, pragmatic Bill, but his audience is now boardrooms and business plans, not television cameras. The couple, by all accounts, remains the rock-solid team we always saw. Their marriage, forged in the unique fires of shared experience and public scrutiny, is said to be their private sanctuary. They enjoy quiet date nights, travel designed for their interests, museums, food, architecture, not red carpets, and a close-knit circle of friends who value them for who they are, not what they were on TV. But the most intriguing update of all concerns Will and Zoe. This is where the family's commitment to privacy is most absolute and most understandable. What we can infer from the fragments they allowed out before the silence is that the children have grown into remarkable young individuals. Will, once the little boy fascinated by science experiments, would now be a teenager. It is speculated that his childhood curiosity has matured into a sharp, analytical mind. Is he following in his mother's footsteps into STEM fields? Or has he carved a completely different path? The world outside their apartment walls doesn't know, and that is clearly the point. Zoe, the vibrant and artistic soul, would be blossoming into young adulthood. Did her love for art and performance continue? Is she a quiet observer or a bold creator? Her journey, too, is her own. The few who claim to know say the kids are bright, kind, well-adjusted, and fiercely protective of their family's private life. They have grown up in a world where their parents' legacy is one of love and resilience, not of catchphrases and episode arcs. They are normal kids, which is the most extraordinary achievement Jen and Bill could have hoped for.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Before we dive in, if this is your first time here, we uncover the hidden stories behind the headlines. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss a piece of the story. What if I told you that behind the seemingly perfect world of a beloved TV family lies a trail of devastating secrets? Secrets so explosive, they involve a mysterious death, a house engulfed in flames, and a frantic, life-or-death race to the hospital? This isn't a script for a new thriller. This is the real, untold story of Jen Arnold and Bill Klein from TLC's The Little Couple, a story that goes far beyond what you've seen on your screens. We all know the image, the charming, successful doctors, the beautiful family built through adoption, the inspiring journey broadcast into millions of homes on TLC.